Hello, everybody. My name is Peter Reynolds, and I'm from Kilgrey. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to view this webinar on our customer portal. Let's get started with this webinar, and I'd just like to introduce Adam, who will introduce himself and then introduce the customer portal. And he will be followed by Veronica, who will show you what the customer portal works in practice. So thank you very much, everybody, and I'll hand over to Adam. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar of Customer Portal. My name is Adam, and I'm an account executive at Kilgrey, and here is with me Veronica, the product owner of Customer Portal. Together, we are going to show you today how Customer Portal works and how you can utilize this tool in your daily work. We thought that this slogan, easy submission, easy delivery, can summarize the main benefits of Customer Portal. Now, let me elaborate on this notion a little bit. Can we switch over to the next slide? Thank you. So what is Customer Portal? Customer Portal is first and foremost a productivity tool. You can add it to your memoQ server. It can be a perpetual server or a cloud server, and it will help you to connect better with your clients. Now, what it does is that it provides a very simple interface to your clients where they can submit files that they would like you to translate. These files will go to the memoQ server automatically. They can request quotes. You can approve these quotes. While the project is being worked on, your client can track the status of these projects. And when it's done, they can simply download it from Customer Portal. Now, what do I mean by clients? It really depends on where you come from. If you are representing a language service provider, a client probably means a regular client from whom you receive a lot of files, and you would like to make this process easier for this client by using Customer Portal. Now, if you are coming from an enterprise, a client can be probably one of your departments. You receive a lot of translatable files from this department, and similarly to the first use case, you can make this process of submitting files and delivering these files much easier with Customer Portal. Now, what is really unique about Customer Portal is that you can customize it to your own needs. On a technical level, this means customizing the workflows that it will apply. On a design level, it means that you can change colors or branding and all those things that you would like to add to make it unique to your environment. Let it be a language service provider or an enterprise. Now, let me turn over to the agenda and give you a glimpse of what my colleague is going to show you today. So for today, we have a very simple agenda. Veronica is going to show you 3 different workflows in Customer Portal with 3 different levels of automation. Out of these 3 workflows, she will show you an example in Customer Portal of a fully automated workflow in practice. After this, she is going to explain you the ways you can achieve this and the necessary setups. Now, let me turn the microphone over to my colleague, who will show you how Customer Portal actually works.
Hello. I hope you hear me too. Okay, so first of all, let me just show you the process that happens in Customer Portal and the different variations of it. So how does a project happen from a bird's eye view? Someone gives you a file that you should translate. You create a project of it. Then you usually give them a quote. Sometimes you don't, but you often do. an actual money quote, or just sort of tell your colleague that it's about 10,000 words. Then they approve it, or it is implied. Then you launch the project in memoQ, and then you deliver the files to them. So we have three workflows, three main workflows, all with different amount of automation. The least automated one, already in the least automated one, the memoQ project is already automatically created. So the project manager doesn't need to do the fairly menial task of creating the project in memoQ. But they will still do all the measurements and determine how big the project is, or maybe how much it costs. The customer accepts, the project manager launches the project, and they deliver the translation. This workflow is what we call a PM-created quote workflow. The next one, the change is that the quote itself, the amount, the size of the project is shown to the customer sort of immediately. There is a little lag while memoQ creates the project and mostly imports the files and analyzes them. Of course, the time it takes depends on the size of the files and the TMs and stuff like that. But it doesn't need any manual interaction. This is what we call an automatic quote. And the third, highly automated workflow, there the customer's acceptance is already implicated. So the customer doesn't even need to accept the quote. And the project is also instantly. Delivery is still done by the project manager in all of these workflows. So the project manager always has the chance to take a look at what was done in the project and if they can vouch for it. This last workflow is called automatic project. If you allow me, let me tell you what I see as use cases for the three workflows. For automatic project, I think it is mostly useful in what we call an enterprise use case, when there is a translation department within a company who handle the translation needs of their colleagues, and there is no approval included in the process, or project there is none, because it is agreed that you will translate, have all the press releases you will translate anyway on every Monday and Thursday, so there is no need for the marketing department to okay the actual size of the project every time. This is the workflow I'm going to present later on. As for automatic quote, I see it as a workflow for either within a company when it matters how big the project is, because it implies costs. So when the marketing department has 10 wonderful presentations that they would like to see in 4 different languages, then it may matter how big that project, how big the cost it would incur for the company. Sorry. So the customer would still need to accept it. Or if you are an LSP and you have clients, outside clients, with predictable file types and predictable processes, and they are pretty much sending the same stuff. So you don't need to take a look at it before you quote it. I'm sorry, I need to cough. Then you can make it possible that they are shown the size of the project automatically, or the price of the project automatically. And the PM created quote the automation is very little. So it is basically only the project that is created and the files are imported into it. But still the project manager can start working from the point where actual human intelligence is necessary. So a bit of the well, let me say the stupid manual work is taken off their back. And also, let's not forget that whichever workflow you choose, actually for the PM created quote, there is even an option where even the project is not created. But that I think is for very funny edge cases. Whichever happens, the files will always still be delivered to customer portal. So the option for your customers to be able to review on will always be there, even if the automation was not that high. Now, so what I'm going to show you is well, from a presentation point of view, the simplest one, the automatic project. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to make this bigger. Yep. So Scarecrow, the client, has already logged in to their customer portal. What they have here is their dashboard, where they see their projects from 3 different states. The first column, which is empty at the moment, is for the quotes they need to approve. The second one is about translation. And as you see, the actual progress is actually shown to them. And at the end, they see their completed translations. And this is where they can download them from. All of their projects and the files that were delivered to them are stored in customer portal. So they can come back a year later and download again what they received. You can actually expand any of the list as well, and there you would see more data about each of these projects. So now we will request a translation. Here we are working in the same company, and the Scarecrow always orders from English. All of their projects are from selected for them. They select the target language, which let's make it French this time. They always order internal material for translation, because that's all that they have. And the only workflow that is available for them is automatic project. So this was all pre-selected for them. And they upload the translatable. Of course, they could upload a lot of them. They could also upload a zip file. They can optionally upload reference files. They can add something nice here. They can actually add an actual message here. They can also add something for themselves, or a PO number, or whatever they need for themselves to be able to identify what this is about. And they request a deadline, and they say that this is fairly urgent, so it would be wonderful to have it tomorrow. And they just start the job. And now memoQ server has started working. Let me show you what the Scarecrow sees. What the Scarecrow sees is, oh yeah, I was cheating. This is already translated. Sorry, I added an automation to it. So basically, they see that this is an ongoing project instantly, because as you might remember, oh, sorry, why did it do this? So the customer's acceptance was implied. So it is already working, it is already going on. And this is why it is in this column. So at the same time, Dorothy comes into work, so this is her now, and refreshes her projects in the morning and sees that there is a new one from the Scarecrow, but she's very happy to see that while she was asleep, their translators have already translated it. Now, if she wants to, she can check out the project, do a QA, whatever she likes to do. But if she trusts the translators that the project will be fine as it is, then she can to customer portal with one click. Okay, yeah, we didn't have actual translators. We don't have this fast translators anyway. And now what the client will see if they refresh, oh, they don't even need to refresh, but the project has moved to the completed translations column, which means that it can be downloaded with one single click. But as you see, the old ones here, they stay here basically forever. If the list goes longer, then you need to page it, etc. But they will be here. And this pretty much concludes a automatic project workflow. As you see, the project manager barely needed to touch it. So they didn't have to do the manual work necessary for starting a project that is pretty much the usual one anyway. Now, what do you need to do to make this possible? Because as you might remember, there were very few options for the client to choose from, and this is on purpose because what you want to do is that you make the life of your customers as easy as possible. So only show them the options that make sense for them. If you translate from 10 languages to another 40 languages, they don't need to see it. All they need to see are the languages that they work in or they need jobs for. You only want to show them the amount of automation that you kind of allow them to use. For a very unpredictable client, you definitely don't want an automated project to start, because you never know what they are going to send, and you really need to check it out before you even quote it. So you can restrict that as well. And the way you do it is like this. Now, am I going to? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. This is so. This is what we've seen. And the way you do it, I'm just going to give you the basics, because as you might imagine, this needs well, thinking on your part, and a bit of setup in mostly in memoQ web. The core elements you want to set are templates. So how did templates get into it, you ask? Obviously, templates are the one that determine how the projects, the automatically created projects, how they are going to look. So the core element, the heart of anything you set up in Customer Portal is a template. And in that template, you can obviously do anything you would usually do in a template. So I would basically start with using the template that I am using anyway for the client, and then maybe change it a little bit. But the template that you are currently using for a client project can be used as the core of that customer portal experience right there. So you don't need the template. The only thing that is absolutely necessary is that you want to use automatic quoting. So if you want to show them the size of the project automatically, then you need to automatically analyze the files with the template, because otherwise memoQ obviously won't know how big the project is. And the templates shown to the customer are also determined by the template, by the templates available for that customer. And as I already said, you can restrict the workflows available for them, so that they don't do anything you don't want them to do. And if in your environment prices make any sense, then you also set up prices. At the moment, you can set up prices which pairs. And the thing that governs these three things are called a service. So a service is basically a template based on a workflow and some prices if they make sense. So this is the heart of a customer portal setup. You obviously need to add customers and contacts at those customers. So customer in this context means if you are an LSP, then an actual company that you are translating for, and the contacts are the people at that company who sometimes order something. If you work in a big company and you are the translation department, then our suggestion is that who you make a customer. So the marketing department and the legal department would be a customer, and the actual people at those departments would be the contact. And you also need to assign a project manager from yourself who will get the email notifications and stuff. But this is the core thing, and it's yeah, you need to figure out how it best suits your workflows. But once you get the hang of it, it's not complicated. So I think this was all from me. Adam, do you want to say a couple of more words? Then I hand it over to him.
Thank you, Veva. All right. Well, here comes the perks. We are going to give you the opportunity to actually try Customer Portal. So if you would like to try this tool on your memoQ server or on your cloud server, you can contact your account manager. Or if you're new to memoQ, you can send an email to sales@kilgrey.com and say, I would really like to try Customer Portal, and our team will help you get started with this.
Are there any questions that people have now?
Actually, yeah.
If you want to ask a question, please click the raise hand button. And so far, we don't have anyone.
Annalena has asked the question. Yes, we do have.
Okay. Matthias? Matthias, I've unmuted you. Do you want to ask a question? Okay, you've muted yourself, so that answers that. Thank you.
Okay, so I do see Annalena's question about the prices.
Yeah, and this is something at present we haven't fully figured.
It's another thing. As for the prices, I'm just showing you how they are done. So at the moment, what you do is that at services, we are in memoQ Web, and I don't want to show you everything, but you can set up the prices per language pair. So every service determined by the templates contains language pairs, and you can add any type of a currency, and you can add a different price per weighted word for every language. That's the amount of sophistication there is at the moment.
Any further questions? Okay, there's a couple of people that have raised hands. I'm going to, Georgia, I'm going to give you the floor. Do you want to ask your question?
Yes, thank you. Can I ask for how long would the client be able to download the files? For how long the completed translation would stay there?
Forever and ever.
Okay.
I mean, they are saved as files on the memoQ server at a designated area. So yeah, if you reinstall your memoQ server or whatever, then it will be moved. But they are there as files.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, and Elia, I've given you the floor. I've unmuted you. Do you want to ask your question?
Yes, thanks a lot. My question was if there are any options to see metrics for a specific customer, like the request, the word counts, the prices, or whatever, like a more generic dashboard metrics.
Like reporting.
Yes.
Reporting type of, yeah, not at the moment. That is on quite high on our roadmap. Reporting, but reporting is always very tricky. Because basically everybody thinks that it is obvious what the first 5 reports should be, but nobody agrees on those first 5 reports that should be done. So yes, it's on the roadmap, and we are collecting user feedback or user requests on what exactly they would like to see in reports.
So do you have any idea of the timeline?
Not at this point, I'm sorry.
Okay,
it really depends on demand.
Yeah, I guess for enterprise customers, that would be like the most important feature to sell the plugin internally.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks anyway for considering.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for raising that point. It's a very good point. Are there any further questions anybody has to ask? If there are not, as Adam was saying earlier, if you want more details about this, contact your account manager or contact Kilgrave at sales@kilgrave.com, and we will get back. Oh, wait a second. Fabio wants to ask a question. I've unmuted you, Fabio. Do you want to ask your question?
He types the question, as far as I hear. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so I see it. All these features are only for memoQ server users. Yes, they are for the server as well. I'm sorry to say, but yes. You need to, somebody already asked me this question. You know, if you don't have a server, then your memoQ is on your PC. Injecting stuff into your PC is not that easy. But noted. Thank you. I can't say it's on the roadmap, but I can say you weren't the first one to ask for it.
And an answer to Max's question asking, is there any sheet we can give him on this? We have a blog post on it, and we have some other information, and we'll send that in the email that you'll get in the next couple of days. So thank you very much for asking that. Okay, if there are no further questions, I just like to end by thanking you all again for attending, and thanks to Veronica and to Adam for the presentation. And as Adam said at the beginning of this and at the end, if you do have questions, just get in touch with us and we'll try and answer them as quickly as we can. So thank you very much, everybody.